Hi everybody, this is Lorraine Tierney with Chat and Craft with Lorraine, and I'm coming to you live today to talk about Ascending Smiles card class. This class is one I'm going to do a little bit differently. It's a card class in the mail, and it will have product with it in addition to the card kit that I will send to you. So let's talk about what that will look like a little bit. So Sending Smiles is a stamp set that's in the annual catalog. I love this stamp set. I love that you can create these flowers with it, quite a few different flowers. It has great sentiments. I don't know if you can read those, but for all different occasions. And you can combine it with the sending. You don't have to use the sending. The stamp set is $23, and there are dies that go with it. There's 14 dies. There's a die for all of the flowers and the leaves. There's two long and a short sentiment die, and then you can cut out the word sending, the background of it, and the skinny version. We're going to be using that, so it's on the table already. Um, the stamp set and the dies don't come with the class because you could substitute another stamp set and dies that you have if you want. But they are an add-on to the class. If you add them on to the class, I will send them to you just for the cost of the stamp set or the bundle, or just the dies, whatever you want. And there won't be additional shipping and handling from the Stampin' Up! End, or in terms of mailing you your things. I'll absorb that if you add on the stamp set or the dies. What you will get with your card class fee is a pack of 20 of these in color card bases and matching envelopes, and I absolutely love these. So this is the Orchid Oasis. There's a Tahitian Tide, and then I'm going to show you cards on the, I guess I'll show you the card right now. Here's one of the cards on the Sweet Sorbet. So this is a card made with the Sending Smiles stamp set. I just chose Comfort and Strength instead of Sending Comfort and Strength. And I used one of the dies and the flower stamps. And so let's see, let me finish with the card bases and the colors. There's also, I'm going to make a card with you today on the Starry Sky card base. And I'm going to make a card with you today on the Parakeet Party card base. So you'll get 20 of these cards, one full package of those. You will get a package of the in color matte dots, and you can see I've been using these a lot. What I really love about these is they come in ombre of colors, so you can see it with the Orchid Oasis. It starts darker and then there's lighter ones, and that's also true with the Starry Sky. It's harder to see in this light, but they are all shaded a little bit. You would get a full pack of those, and you would get a full pack of this Tea Boutique paper, which is also in the annual catalog. I'm sorry, you'd get half a pack of the Tea Boutique paper, half a pack. So the Tea Boutique paper has 48 sheets in it, 4 of 12 different designs, and you would get 2 of the 12 different designs. So there's teapots and flowers. You can see that some of the patterns go with the Tea Boutique stamp sets, but there's always a side or a pattern that does not have tea in it. There's flowers. This looks great. There's a stamp set with the envelopes and the flowers, very similar to this in the catalog. There's these little flowers that, there's definitely papers that go with everything. And if you like the teapots, you can certainly fussy cut some of these out or cut them out with a square or a circle. I love this for iced tea. So the paper's great. So you would get half a pack of paper, a full pack of the matte dots, and a full pack of the card bases and envelopes, and that would be $35. In addition, you would get the die cut pieces to make one card out of each color. I would have that done for you. So that'd be 5 cards ready to go. I would not cut this DSP, the patterned paper, because that's in your packet that you will get, but I will give you instructions in a video on how to cut everything that you need. I would die cut the white flowers in case you don't buy the dies, and you can stamp them yourself, and I'm going to show you a trick today on how to do that. You would have the matte dots. I would send you the die cut circle. That's cut with the Stylish Shapes circle. So let me show you the first card that we're going to make today. And if you have any questions, you can let me know. Just type them in and I'll try to answer them. The first card we're going to make is on a parakeet party base. And I just want to do one thing here because I changed my mind about how I was going to do this. I was going to just send you this piece if you didn't have the stamp set and dies, but I think it's much better to send you the white piece cut out. That looks so much better. And then you can stamp on it. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So for this card, you would get the Orchid Oasis matte cut for you. You would cut the rectangle of the patterned paper yourself. You would get the circle cut for you, this flower shape, the leaf shape, and this shape cut for you, even though you might choose to buy the dies for the first card, it'll be done for you. And then you can always, like I said, substitute. But here's how you can stamp on those die cuts. I haven't done this in a long time, but I have done it at workshops that other people have held, and I've done it myself. So here's the die cut for the top flower, and here is the stamp that coordinates with it. So I'm going to ink it up, and I'm pretty sure I did that full strength. Yes, I did. I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to flip over my block and my inked stamp, and I'm going to lay this on top as best I can. And then I thought I brought a piece of scrap paper over here with me. Let me grab, here's a piece of cardstock. Then I'm going to put a piece of paper down on top of it and just gently rub. I don't want to move that stamp at all, but I do want to make sure that the ink gets in contact with the stamp. And there you have it. I got a very nice stamped flower on that. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing with this stem with the Parakeet Party ink. Let me just clean this stamp off. So you would get these pieces and you could do the stamping this way on them, or if you have the dies and the stamps, you can cut your own images. So you just want to make sure you don't have any extra ink on the block. You can try to line it up like this with the clear stamps. It's not too hard. I'll probably get my head right in the way of the camera. I'm sorry that the lighting is not the best. I'm still at my daughter's house, and so I'm not in my studio. And that's why I didn't do a lot of time on my face, because I'm having a hard time keeping my face in the screen, and it's a little bit dark. Okay, I'm gonna put my piece of paper down and give it a rub. And there you see, I have my leaf stamped. All right, so now we're going to put that together on our card base. The card bases are white on the inside. I did use the stitched rectangle stylish shaped squares. I'm sorry, the stylish shaped squares die to cut that, but you could just cut it with your paper trimmer. I will give you all the measurements. You'll also have this Orchid Oasis square to go by, so you'll know you're just going to cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller than that. I'm going to put this on here. Just trying to get this nice and straight. Okay, and I'm going to put my flower and my stem on the circle before I put them on the card, because I'm going to have to pop part of it up with dimensionals, and it'll be easiest to do that when it's all attached. I'll put a little glue on the back of this one. Put that on there. Okay. And now I'm going to put some dimensionals on my circle. And then I'm going to cut. I hope you always use the edges of your dimensionals in all the smaller pieces. I cut these all the time. I cut my dimensionals in half or in thirds. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put that on there. And then I want just a teeny tiny piece on the bottom of that stem. Teeny tiny is the technical term. I'm going to leave that to the side because I need to stamp my love and big hugs. But that seems to be oh, here it is. Got it. Phew. I thought I had checked that I have everything. So I'm going to stamp that in Orchid Oasis also. Okay, I've lost the stamp set. Here it is on the floor. So a lot of the different sayings will fit on this smaller shape. You could choose whatever you want. I think I'll put a card to say hello on this one, just so I don't have two that are exactly the same. I'm going to line that up. That's my dog snoring in the background. I don't know if you can hear her or not. I should say my daughter's dog, but that's better than barking. Hopefully they will not bark. Okay, so I need to stand up to see what I'm doing. I just bumped into my die cut, so I'm going to turn it over. Good thing they all have two sides. And I have a card to say hello. It doesn't leave me room for the same place to put my little in color matte dots, but that's okay. And if you have a little ridge on your die cut, if you flip it over, just run your bone folder over that and that will smooth that out. You can see where I got a little dot. Hi Tommy, hi Sue. Thanks for joining me. So this is a card class called Sending Smiles. And I'm showing you a sample of a couple of the cards you could make with this class and the product that's included in the class. So I'm going to have this one go right over the edge of that. There we go. And I'll have to put my dots on it a little bit differently. Let's see where we'll put those. I wish you could see the ombre color of these dots. They're so pretty. I'm going to put a big one, whoops, a big one down a little bit lower. It'll be protected by the dimensionals on that. And I'll put another smaller one up here. There we go. So that's one of the cards that you would get the die cut pieces and the piece of Orchid Oasis to make. And again, you can substitute different things if you don't want to buy the Sending Smiles stamp set, or you don't have the Sending Smiles stamp set. And here is the other card that we're going to make. This one is on a Starry Sky card base and with the Orchid Oasis ink again. I find the Starry Sky ink a little bit dark. Sometimes I have to stamp off, but I decided to just go with the Orchid Oasis with this since I had it out. So on this one, you get your card bases and envelopes, of course. I would die cut this stitched scalloped frame. I would die cut your sending. I would also die cut your skinny word sending, this white word that goes over it. Hi Deb, I'm glad you love these cards. Oh, and thank you for prayers for my grandson. I will use the adhesive backing on this for you. I didn't have any here with me today, but I have plenty of that at home. So I would use that for you so that it would be a little bit easier to put this onto here. And I'm not quite sure, I don't know how I'm going to do this dot for you, the I dot. I might have to put that on your background for you, because once you pop it out of here, it's just going to get lost. So I always put my I dot on first. And of course, because I'm on live, it's not gonna stick. Oh, there it is. Okay. So now it's on there. Okay. So I like to leave my well, this is going to be tricky. I'm going to leave it in here and put a little glue on it and try to poke it right out onto the thing. But like I said, yours will be die cut for you. It will have the adhesive back for you and you'll get it down no problem. I'm going to punch this out a little bit. Okay. I just need to get it started. Okay, here we go. And I recommend you just start with, I got to get rid of that, start with one letter and get that lined up. And then just keep working your way down. And there you go. That's your sending. And I just want to show you, it's going to be near the top of your page, and we're going to do some stamping down here. We're going to stamp with the Orchid Oasis and the Parakeet Party again. I'm going to use a different leaf from the stamp set. I'm going to try to use as many different stamps with these cards as I can. I love when I feel like I get good use out of a stamp set and use all the different stamps. I have a little ink on my block. Okay. So I'm going to use the Parakeet Party with this. And I'm going to start with a dark one. And as you can see, I kind of nestled the flowers in between two of the leaves. So it's these two leaves right here that I'm paying attention to where they're going so that I can put a flower in. And I'm stamping a shadow next to it each time. You can't see that too well, but it just adds a little depth and a little texture. And I'm trying to vary the height a little bit. It's kind of tricky to do because my block is hiding where that outside leaf is. So I can't really tell, but I know that one's going to be taller. And then a second stamp and one more. These leaves are very forgiving. They really, doesn't matter too much how you do them. Okay, and now I don't know what this flower is supposed to be. I think it looks like a little hyacinth. I'm just grabbing a smaller block so I find I get less ink on the block if it's not as too big. Okay. So that's the little flower, and I'm going to put one inside those leaves. Here we go, one more. And I have done this in the past, and you can go in and fill in even more leaves here if you want it to look like a big field of green. But I think for today, that's enough. Oops, I need another. So then we have a sentiment and a banner from the Stylish Shape dies. I love how these two fit just perfectly together. So I stamped a note of thanks on that one. Let's see what else would fit. Comfort and strength, like I have on that other card. Birthday wishes. Card to say hello. I think I'll do a note of thanks. I'm always sending thank you cards. I've been blessed with so many people praying and helping us out right now that I could use some more thank you cards. Okay. So this is also Orchid Oasis, and I'm going to try to get it centered right in there. Generally, if I were making this card at home, I would stamp first and then die cut, but I wanted to show you how you would receive the kit and how you would do it. Let's close that ink before I put my fingers in it. Okay, I'm going to put that on here. I love that little extra wiggle room of the green glue, the liquid glue. Okay, so I'm going to build this first, and then I'm going to put the whole thing on dimensionals there. I love that sending. It's great. If you had the stamp set and not the dies, you could just stamp the word sending right across the top there, and that would also look very nice. I've done that on a card, and it's looked quite nice with the flowers around it. Let's get this straight. The sending is forgiving for getting totally straight because they're not all even. That N is higher up and the G and the D, so it's forgiving. And then I like this right at the bottom, and I stuck it a little bit off. You have to be careful it's not going to go off the edge of your card base, just about a dimensionals width off, because you're going to need a dimensional. That might be too close to the end. Dimensional on that part. Oh, I should not have taken that little piece of paper off. There we go. Because I need to put it on here. And I'm going to overlap the little stitching on the bottom. Well, don't put your dimensional on till you get that on. There you go. Okay. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on the bottom of this, and I love to use these edges for some bigger parts. And I don't like saggy middles, so I'm sure to put some in there. And you can't pick this back up and add dimensionals, so my feeling is better safe than sorry. You might not use so many on yours, but I don't want it to sag. I never think, I see people that use their take the pick tool and they pop these off like that. I don't ever think to do that, but that is pretty easy. You learn something new every day, right? Okay. So now this, I want my white piece to be pretty much centered, but I'm also watching my banner to make sure it doesn't go off the edge of my card base. And I'm going to put some of the Parakeet Party little blends on. Blends. What are these called? Bling matte dots. Right? One. This will be protected by the dimensionals. 1, 2. I'm going to do a couple more. I love this Parakeet Party color. When you go to pull these off your paper, press down on them first with the tip of your scissors to make sure you're getting the little adhesive glue dot as well as the dimensional. So there you go. So like I said, you will get things to make one card in each of the colors. True Confessions, the Tahitian Tide, and the Orchid Oasis aren't done yet, but they will be. You will get the things to do that. And you'd get 20 of these card bases, 4 in each color. You'd get a full pack of the matte dots, the in-color matte dots, and you'd get half a pack of this Tea Boutique paper. So you get 2 pages of 12 different designs, 2 pieces of 12 different designs. And I just wanted to show you, I did make a set of in color cards on the same card bases with the Tea Boutique dies. I've sent out some of them already. And this is the in color DSP, and I don't know if you can tell, I've stamped right on it. It looks really nice like that in the Sweet Sorbet. So these cards, I've seen these cards used with the Songbird stamp set, with the teacups, with the Sending Smiles, with just about any of the stamp sets. It's really, the card bases are really, really nice. And it really is a nice little shortcut to start with that. And who wouldn't love to receive an envelope in the mail that looks like this? I mean, that just shouts, you've got Happy Mail coming to you. The cost for the class is $35. That includes postage to get it to you. And if you add on the stamp set and the dies, or just one or the other of those, there'd be no additional shipping and no additional cost, tax, or shipping from Stampin' Up. I would absorb that in with the price of the class. So just send me a message or an email if you're interested in that class. I'd love to make one of these kits for you, and I hope you have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions. Tommy, yes, I'll be making new cards for the fall, but I'm trying to wait just a little bit and play with the summer colors a little bit more and stay in summer just a little bit more. I can switch this over. I'm sorry, it's a little bit dark in here. I don't have, like I said, the best lighting, but this works. So I hope you have a great day. I hope you make some cards today and send some cards. Send that happiness. Share all the joy we have in making cards. All right, have fun. Keep stamping. Bye-bye.